Hey everybody, Shane here, dailyastrocat.com, and today is Thursday. It is the 9th of April. So let's go. I got some astrology here for you. So we're going to talk about the moon being in Capricorn all day long. We're also going to talk about abundance for everybody, right? Look, there's been some of you that have been sending me messages and comments and stuff like that stating that you are coming into some abundance, and I'd like to congratulate you for doing that, for having that happen. And I'd also like to just extend the invitation to everybody to tap into that abundance. I do make an intention before I go on here that this podcast is to help everybody and is to do the best good for everybody who listens to it. And I do send abundance out to all of you every single time before I record. Have my candles lit, my intentions are made, I've got some incense going. We are in the zone tonight. So get in the zone, drop me a heart, okay? Do something, just comment. Tell me that you're with me, that you're vibing with this. Now, Mars enters the sign of Aries today. This is a big deal. Moon in Capricorn, that's very good for it too. That was a very professional itch on the nose too. Look, Mars in Aries is going to make everyone feel a bit more energized. It's happening, right? This is the Aries season. This is where we go into it. This is where we're going to put our foot down. But there's always a but, right? There's always a but in there, and this but is Saturn, right? And it's Saturn in a very, very good way, because this is going to keep us from being reckless. It's very reminiscent of the last time that Mars entered Aries, and we'll get into that. Okay, look. Now, Neptune and Saturn are also going to play a prominent role in all of this. Mars is essentially reborn at this point. So if you think of the zodiac starting in Aries, our zodiacal year and everything like that, this is a new Aries cycle. How long does Mars cycle. How long does a Mars cycle last? 2 years, right? It takes 2 years to go around the sun once. So basically, we kind of like... We're just, Mars takes 2 years. So Mars was last in Aries on April 30th of 2024. So think about what you were doing then. Think about, where your journey's taken you from that point. Because this is very much about our actions and what we've done. Pay attention to where Mars is in your chart, and also any planets that may be in Aries or Scorpio in your chart, right? This is gonna benefit everyone. However, Mars ruled charts and signs and houses are going to feel particularly energized, or especially energized in this case. Now, the moon in Capricorn finds this energy very agreeable. So we're going to move forward today with some purpose and meaning. Now, this is provided you're doing the work, right? Success is baked into this particular aspect. And today's keyword is ready, but ready with a question mark. Are you ready? I'd hope so. So look, the color is a blue seal, like a signet ring, or maybe like the pet food that you can get from I used to get it at an Agway store, right? Blue Seal, big bags of cat food, and they made other feed too. They made horse and duck and chicken and all sorts of stuff. So our Aries season gets a huge boost today. Now we can feel the drive and the push. Soon, Mars is going to be sextile Pluto, and the twin engines of Scorpio will ignite just in time to question everything the United States is facing from within. Now, isn't it curious that not a single hacker organization or a WikiLeaks kind of styled website has released a single shred of the Epstein files? Kind of curious, right? I think there's money behind that, right? They're not getting paid. Why would they release it if they didn't get paid? They get paid to take down the opposition to the oligarchy, right? That's what they were paid for. That's just my own take on it. Just throwing that out there. Now, perhaps this meeting of Mars and Pluto will get some folks asking more questions, just like that, right? It's time for the people to wake up and hold errant leaders accountable. Twin engines, right? Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Now, there's a calm confidence that's going to be very hard to describe. We know we need to move. We know we got to do that, right? Just like I know that I need to manifest every single time when I do this. If I don't, then it's not as effective as it can be. The words will not hit you the same way. only because the choices of them, the choice and the meaning and the timing and everything of that is actually, I don't want to say intended, but it's a channeling of a sorts, of a particular energy of an abundance that's being passed along to you. Now, we know we need to move now. Mars entering Aries is pretty momentous. Being conjunct with Saturn means that we can transform into the most balanced version of Aries to date. So in other words, the balanced energy of this season, it just gets more balanced, right? Almost like Libra across the way, right? The opposing sign, that Libra sign. That's a very good thing because that gives strength to Aries, right? That partnership, that unity, that not even necessarily what the house assignment is across from it, because that might be different, but the qualities of Libra are something that we need to go forward with purpose and meaning and with balance and harmony, and we need to bring all this good stuff together. And this stuff is in a perfect place to come together with Saturn and Neptune being right there. We got a great eye for the artistic side of things, and we're going to have a great sense of what it is we need to do, what we need to overcome, and how we need to overcome it. So, be strategic and be focused. Pick your battles one at a time and know the ramifications and limitations that you may be facing. Doing otherwise is going to feel strange and just not right. The fourth quarter, that's the quarter of the moon, not the fourth quarter of this game or anything like that, is all about our purified emergence into the sign of cardinal fire, Aries. That happens just after midnight tonight. So that's going to be affecting us Friday. And Friday is actually going to be a great day as well. So this is the pyre from which the phoenix will arise when the new moon is in Aries. Try not to get in your own way. Now, the opposing Jupiter, the moon opposes Jupiter later on towards the evening. And this has a wait-and-see vibe kind of connected to it, right? The moon in her wisdom urges both Venus and Jupiter to be patient. The moon's in Capricorn, remember. The Aries energy is just going, right? But that cardinal square, there's a different way, right? We have an earthy way of creating, of doing this, and that moon in Capricorn has kind of put us in that receptive mindset so that we're not going to go all out and just that impulsive thing, because we're going to be listening to Saturn. And Saturn is right there at the very beginning of Aries. Now, if you remember correctly from when all the other planets entered into Aries, that first Sabian symbol for 0 degrees Aries is the woman emerging from the water with a sea creature on her leg. That is, like a seal or something like that, just touching and hugging and urging her on. This is a transformation of sorts. That is a transformation, literally. But with this, our transformation is taking our considered actions and making them concrete, right? Taking actions that we were thinking about that we may not have been able to do quite well because that Pisces energy was just acting intuitively. Now it's going to be internalized and it's going to come outward as we manifest it forward. So that's basically what we're doing. Speak what your truth is to yourself. Set your sights on it. That's Sagittarius, setting your sights, right? And then actually put it into motion beginning tomorrow. Just make sure you are manifesting properly, and then react and acting, not reacting. We act. We're going to react to fine-tune everything. Because remember, we had Mercury retrograde. Now Mercury is direct. Now Mercury is out of all that stuff, and Mercury is beginning to cover some new ground. So the ground that we cover is going to be very empathetic and empathic, and just where we're headed, we're going to feel. And then soon, Mercury will be joining this whole big party in Aries. And that is going to be a very, very interesting period of growth for a lot of different things. So, it looks like Mars is not going to And Mars has to wait, so it's not going to do for any good for you to try to rush too much, without Mercury there. Instead, try to imagine what it's going to look like with all the planetary energy pushing us forward until May 6th, because that's when Pluto is going to go retrograde, right? So we have all forward-moving planets up until May 6th. So in 1912, the first exhibition game is played at a park known as Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. It was between the Red Sox and Harvard University. And that happened on this date in 1912, right when the park opened. And our birth is Florence Price. She was born in 1888. She died in 1953. She's an American composer. She won the Wanamaker Prize in 1932. She's the first African-American woman to have a composition played by a major orchestra. And she was born in Little Rock, Arkansas. And that's all I have for you. So let's recap, shall we? Our color is a blue seal, the signet ring, or the pet food. And the key word is ready, with a question mark. Are you ready? Ready? Let's go. And that's all I have for you. Today's a 6. Kind of an interesting energy to wrap your head around, right? Not full bore ahead, but not bad in the least. Today's a 6. Happy astrocatting.